Okay, guys, just got back from my trip, backpacking Asia and Europe. I wanted to do a quick review of my pack and the gear that I brought. I've recruited the assistance of my fantastic brother here today, so we're gonna get started. I apologize in advance for this. All of the tables here have something like this. This is the least worst. So yeah, let's get started. The clothes I was wearing. Now keep in mind, this was the exact gear that I brought. I've done everything from climb Mount Everest to beaches in the Philippines. This was all the gear that I needed for all of this. This is my setup for cold weather, as I just came from cold weather, so in the summer it would look a little different, but that stuff is in the pack. So we've got a vest. It's one of those down vests. I prefer the vest because it's more useful, or it has greater number of uses. You can wear it when it's not so cold, but still not so hot. I would pair that with a micro fleece sweater. Got a synthetic running shirt. All of my clothes are synthetic, except for one cotton shirt, because it's nice to wear cotton sometimes. The typical traveler zip-off pant/short combination. Socks, synthetic boxers. In my pockets, I would carry a buff. This thing is great. I used it probably more for an eye cover in planes and trains and cars than I did for a neck warmer, but still great. Hat. I would keep one glove in each of my pockets. Belt, wallet, chapstick. I'll come over here so you can get this view, with emergency cash inside. This is a great trick I learned on YouTube. Thank you, dude on YouTube, that gave me this idea. And headphones. Alright, the pack. Osprey Exos 58. Awesome pack. The pack only weighs, I think, 2 pounds, the pack itself. Some people have these very elaborate packs with lots of zippers. It makes things really easy to get to, but it makes the pack really heavy. So I like this pack. Good stuff. The pack fully loaded is 16 kilos, or 35 pounds. So it could be lighter. You'll see some things that you could eliminate right off the bat if you wanted. One special note, I am set up for camping. I prefer to sleep outside. So if you are going to sleep in hostels, you would not need to bring most of the stuff I have in my bag. I will go through the outside pockets first. One addition that I did not have on my trip, I learned at the very end from Shannon and his wife, is this trick with putting your pack into a laundry bag to check it. So I had been using, you will see, I had been using plastic bags, and him and his wife had taken one laundry bag and put both of their packs inside of it so that they could check one bag versus checking 2 separate packs. Fantastic idea. Next time, that's what I'll be doing. Alright. Let's get this pack. Outside pockets. Hand sanitizer. Super lightweight little mini telescope. Eye drops. little pocket knife. You really don't need anything big. I always check this onto planes, so it was never an issue. If you're doing carry-on only, can't bring a knife. Alright. I picked these up on the Trans-Siberian Railroad. They're just really cheap slippers to keep your feet warm. I don't know, they came in useful and they weigh next to nothing, so I kept them around. Shower sandals, general flip-flops. If I have carried 2 different kinds of tents in my travels. The one that's in here now is a tarp tent, which uses trekking poles to keep it up. In the other tent that used standard poles, I would keep the poles on the outside of the back. On the other side, speaking of trekking poles, my towel, best investment ever, ShamWow. I don't usually buy things from TV, but this was totally worth it. It's one of these car rag chamois things. It's fantastic. I don't like those pack towels, so this is my alternative. Trekking poles, like I said, the tent loops onto the tips and you pull them tight and then you stake out the ends of the tent. Saves weight, doubles up on practicality. Alright. On the outside, I've got my rain jacket / windbreaker. This went up Mount Everest with me. It would go on the outside as the insulating layer, keep the wind out. This was a phenomenal idea, also obtained on YouTube. It is a Tyvek sheet. Tyvek is waterproof house wrap, and if you wash it in the washing machine, it turns into like a really soft sheet, and it becomes a waterproof ground cloth. I would use it for the beach as a beach towel. Sometimes if you wanted to lay down in a forest and take a nap, throw it down on the ground, and it's a nice little sheet to put some separation between you and dirt. This was my alternate pair of shoes. I love these things. I would actually put dark socks underneath them and wear them as dress shoes. I never had a problem. Whoa. On the top of the pack, I have a little combination lock. Highly recommend something little that you can use in hostels. Many hostels you need your own lock, or they charge you a deposit of some sort for having a lock. It's nice to have this. This is a travel / camp pillow. I would take it on airplanes, just inflates. Xped is the brand. This is a bottle. Sometimes I would make my own deodorant using alcohol, rubbing alcohol and essential oils. We'll get into that later, but this is what I would put the concoction in. Mosquito head net. Didn't actually use it, but I would have been glad to have carried it if I needed it. Headlamp, rechargeable, using a micro USB. The only electronic that I brought was my phone, and it also used micro USB. Oh, and a battery charger, the spare battery, also used micro USB. Some Zingit line. in case you need it. Hanging bear bags in the forest also. The pavement tips for the trekking poles. This is a line to hang your pack on a tree. Sun gloves. I didn't actually use these. These are kind of useless, but they weighed so little.